Okay, today we are going over the stuff we learned yesterday, which is about how to design a polynomial that will work uh, given certain characteristics. So I started you off with the words in red there, and then we graphed it and then figured out that this cannot be right because the left end has to be going up. All right, so what could possibly have gone wrong, or what should I just do differently to make it work? There's something that I definitely did wrong. I'm looking at it, I can see what I did wrong, and because it can't be that way. Yes?
Shouldn't it be a zero, it should bounce upward?
It should go through it and go upwards. You are correct. Why? What about this? What about what I said told you that? It bounced here, and then it's going to go like this. What told you that?
Oh, because it bounces at 5.
Yep. It bounces to 5. Yep, you're right. So far.
So that would be a negative 7x cubed.
So if this is counting for 2 of my roots, because it's a bounce there, here's the part you're missing. Multiplicity of 3. That means that 0 must be a triple root. Then they go through in this funky way that you've seen before on the x to the third graph that's like this. It's going through it in that way. So I would not judge you if you can't draw these terribly well, because mine's not awesome either. But it has to, at a minimum, be cutting through there. That way, it's going up on the one end and down on the other. Here's the equation you should have said. Now, there's actually more than one variation of it. But I could just write negative 7 in the front of the whole thing. Okay, that would get me my lead term to have a negative 7 on it. And then I need a root at 5, x minus 5. And that one's got to be bouncing, squared. Then I need a root at 0. That's just a plain old x, or an x plus 0. And I could have put that x in the front here if you wanted. But that one says multiplicity of 3. That means that has to be to the third. How many of you had your equation right for it? Okay, good. Again, this could have been over here if you wanted, and it doesn't have to say x plus 0. It can just say x to the third. All right, cool. There's designing a polynomial. All right, what else have you been asked to do that you need to know how to do? We did some review yesterday, but limits. This end, right end limit, it's going down over here. So the way you say that is the limit of the function as x approaches infinity. Why did I say infinity? Because here's x, and if I want to right side, that's where x goes towards infinity. And it will equal, and then this is the x amount. What is the y amount? Again, this is stretch it to ridiculous, like forever. If I go forever in this direction, this will have gone forever in that direction, negative infinity. It's a y value over there. That's a y value. All right. So there's a little review of where we've been. I'm going to pause for a minute while we pull up the smartboard for today. All right, so here's our review task for today, this little formative, as in not in the 85% category, quiz. And here's write a polynomial that has blah, blah, blah. That sound familiar? We just did that. And then how about a limit statement? We just did that. Okay, and then what else? Sketch. If I'm supposed to make that graph and I just lose all other like abilities, what could solve any graph? What? XY chart. XY chart can graph anything. Now, would it be faster if you could maybe get this into factored form and it turned into like this? Know what I'm saying? Then you'd know where the roots were and stuff. Okay, now next thing, this says sketch with careful attention to end behavior and Y-intercept. That means they haven't asked you, it says sketch, it didn't say graph. So they haven't asked you that you have to find the roots. Do you get that a graph, as long as it's end behavior, like if I say it's going down on this end when it's really going up on that end, I'm going to get it wrong. End behavior and Y-intercept are the only things they're asking for on this one. So unless they told me something to factor out using long division, then you'd be able to factor it, right? But I'm not telling you what goes in it. And so this one, I don't think you are going to be able to factor. Now, if you can impress me and factor that, that's awesome. But notice the directions. It does not say you have to have careful attention to the roots. Okay? So that means you probably aren't going to be able to factor that one. Again, if you can figure it out, awesome. All right. Now this one says with careful attention to the roots and the Y-intercept. So that means you are going to have to be like bouncing at the right places and going through the right Y-intercept and that kind of stuff. All right. Next, if -2 is a root of that, long division and synthetic division. That'll be good for us to practice today. And last but not least, this is one that is about making a box. Do you remember talking through that box problem? And if you cut a corner out of the box, I did talk that over with you. You should be able to figure out how long the sides are. Do you get if they used to be 5, it's shorter than 5 now? So it's 5 minus not x, because that would be wrong. This is x and this is x, so it's not shorter just by x, it's shorter by 2x, okay? That'll help you set up the answer in terms of x. In other words, I don't need to know the answer's like 7. I need to know the answer for this is like x squared times x minus 5 or whatever. That's an answer in terms of x. All right, so make sure you've got an answer with a whole bunch of x's in it, and that's the only hint I'm giving you there for number 7. All right, so today is a big work day on that stuff. Now, I'd hope that we could get this done in like 20 minutes, okay? As a group, you're going to be working with somebody else. All right, so I'm going to pause for a minute while you get into some. Okay. So for the rest of today, all we did was give kids time to work on either their labs, which are going to be graded tomorrow, or the little quiz, which I said I was going to post the homework key, and your only job for tonight's homework is to check your answers you're getting right now on that quiz against the key tonight. Okay? And then test again is coming on Friday, and we will have just graded a bunch of labs, and then we'll do a review on Thursday, of course. Tomorrow's a little factoring really difficult long division polynomials, like practicing long division a bunch. And then, yeah, we're off to your actual test on Friday. Any other last questions for today? All right, I'm going to continue to wander around, and if you have questions about any of the 3 labs that are hanging out there for us, the drone lab, which is a super easy one, I'm not going to grade that super harshly like the others, and the Mad Mouse and the tennis ball lab. If you have questions about those, ask. Otherwise, we are going to grade those tomorrow in class. Okay, that's all I got for you for today.